Just months ago, dozens of East Texans reported extraordinary encounters in Erath County, seeing lights in the sky and flying objects near Stephenville in Dublin, Texas.
Now, we are not here to say those things happened or didn't happen, but for many, there is still a lot that is unexplained about all this. Tonight, we continue an East Texas woman's story of alleged alien abductions. You'll remember, Jane Nelms lives near Winnsboro and is also president of the UFO Society in Plano. She grew up in England and has lived many places, claiming aliens follow her and constantly visit, even now, here in East Texas. Tonight, KLTV7's Courtney Lane brings us more of Nelms' bizarre stories, and we'll leave it up to you to decide if you believe or not.
Passed away this February.
Jane Nelms says one of the most interesting encounters happened one night near Winnsboro. She, along with others from the UFO support group, gathered at a neighbor's home in the country.
We all saw this brilliant white light, and no matter wherever, a couple of seconds later it would be, we'd see it from another window. And Wayne goes, oh no, he goes, they're all around the house. So one of the guys goes out to his car to get a packet of cigarettes. He comes back, the color of this paper here, without his cigarettes. And standing by his car is one of the grays, the small aliens.
Nelms says her husband was in the backyard, so she stepped outside to check on him.
We hear this snapping of branches and crash, boom. All of a sudden we hear woo. And as that ship took off, it snapped off all these branches in the woods. And I went back into the house.
She says the aliens never came inside the house that night, but were observing them from all around. Nelms says somebody else has been observing her too, men in black. She believes the government agents do exist and attempted to silence her after she went on a radio station in Dallas. Nelms says one came to her one day while she was shopping.
And he was all in black. Black hat, black sunglasses, black suit. He was probably 6'4". And no matter what aisle I went down, he would be right there. And then I got some phone calls.
Nelms says she told them she will not be silenced. In fact, that's why she's talking to us, wanting others to know.
People have to experience stuff for themselves. And it doesn't bother me if people don't believe me. All I know is what has happened.
Perhaps the hardest story to believe is what she says happened to her in the 1980s.
My husband and I hadn't had relationships for a while. And I was pregnant. 4.5 months pregnant. Wow. And everything was fine. You know, I got over the morning sickness and the baby was doing okay. And my husband was out of town. And things were going on, strange things. And I went to bed that night and I thought, things aren't right now. You know, this is not right. I sensed something was near the house, you know, and I didn't know what. So I went to bed pregnant, 4.5 months pregnant. And I woke up that morning and I'd had a terrible night, like it was a nightmare, a literal nightmare. And I knew when I woke up that morning that I was no longer pregnant.
She believes the aliens took her baby. Nelms says she's not sure where the beings come from and what exactly they're doing here, but she intends on finding out. And she says the aliens have chosen her.
People are afraid, and I'm going to be there to help them.
So what exactly did they say?
They said that there will be a time when people will see more of us, and that you will be working with us. You will help those people. And I'd have no fear now.
Jane Nelms probably doesn't fit your stereotype of someone who claims close encounters with UFOs and aliens. She's lived a prosperous life all over the world and has settled in East Texas with her husband. Her father was an intelligence officer for the British Aircraft Corporation. He was even knighted by the Queen of England for his service to the country. Jane is also an artist and a writer. She's kept diaries of her alleged encounters, which she may one day try to get published. But of course, it's up to you to decide if you believe in her stories. Courtney Lane, KLTV 7 News.
Jane is so confident, she says she will happily take a lie detector test.